All the pictures I've ever seen of Libya, they don't look real. When it comes to North Africa, it's the one country with the biggest sand dunes in the world.
Combine that with the fact that its doors have been closed to Western visitors for more than 20 years, and you've got one of the most amazing destinations on Earth. After traveling the world for a year, Justin and I, we were charged with a whole new energy.
As I got further away from my old life, I started to realize that this is where I need to be. This is now my lifestyle.
One day, I hope to say that I've seen the world, but that day is not here yet. We're in Casablanca, Morocco. I've been here for a couple of days just trying to sort out a visa in order to enter Libya.
This is where we're told our visas are supposed to be, but we went to the embassy and they said they're not here. And then Rabat, since we have our camera, it's been nothing but a big problem. Scott's in it trying to deal with it right now. I feel bad for the guy.
It's a bit of a kerfuffle. I'm trying to just locate different train times right now to go from Casablanca to Rabat, which is about an hour north of here.
I knew it was serious, but I didn't think it was kerfuffle serious. I love the words he used.
So now we have to get a train north to Rabat, get our visas hopefully processed there.
What kind of goose chase are we on, Mr. Wilson?
This visa exists. It's just, they don't just give them away. We've just left the Libyan embassy, which is behind us here in Rabat, and we finally have Libyan visas. That's it. That's what we came for. Now we can go to Libya.
Can't wait to fill this mofo up. Open it up, I'm like, where did I stamp it? I'm like, just stamp it on my wrist.
The pieces have finally all fallen into place after a lot of running around. We've got our ticket booked to Tripoli, and that's our flight waiting right there. As I was going through customs, the guard kind of pats me down and has a look at my passport and the ticket and says in Arabic, blah, 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 Tripoli, ha, ha, ha. He gives my passport back to me and he's like, bon voyage. I was like, why? The Sahara Desert was something that we totally missed out of North Africa, so we wanted to continue on, and we figured where else better than Libya, which holds an enormous amount of the Sahara Desert.
We're driving in style. We got this big giant bus, which I've nicknamed the White Rhino. It's big. It doesn't got any horns. Let me see. Get the horn? There, it does got one horn. These are our dudes in here.
Hi guys, welcome to Tripoli.
All right, we've got Jamal here, we've got Mehdi here, and we've got our driver up here, Mohammed.
I'm Justin Catch, and welcome to Departures.
Because it's so difficult to get in here, there are very few visitors here, which leaves Libya unspoiled by tourism.
Romans! Any Romans down there? It's like a ghost town here. We pretty much have this whole place to ourselves. Nobody's here. There's all that's left of these remains.
This is a real reminder of why this was a good choice to come to Libya. It's like the port of death for all these other arenas.
These walls aren't that high, you know what I mean? They gotta be about maybe 6, 7 feet, probably about 7 feet high. So that animal could, like if they're a tiger, he could just jump up right in the crowd. You know, sometimes I wouldn't pay to have a front seat. You notice when you walk out, they got those doors, those small little doors?
Yeah.
Those aren't for midgets, those are for tigers. I guarantee you, back in the day, no one would do this.
I'm sure I put a tiger there. No, I better go investigate.
I swear last time there was a lion in here. You want to see us fight?
The thing that really strikes me is how well preserved and how vast the ruins are. And I think a big part of that is because of the fact that Libya has been closed off to the Western world. But what we came here for was the desert, and that's what we're really looking forward to. Soon we're going to leave all this coastline and water behind.
We're at El Hafra. The idea tonight is to pick our meal and then get it cooked up for us. Out of all of the fish here, what fish do you recommend?
Toads.
Toad.
Toads. You know toads?
No.
Like toads, like ribbit.
Oh, okay.
I think it's the most expensive one, but it's okay. It's,
Okay.
yeah,
He says it's the most expensive, but
Cool color paint my car. I'm gonna take a picture of this barracuda and take it to my body man.
I've been weighed in here with my fish. Now they'll clean it, and it doesn't get any fresher than this. I could spit to the Mediterranean right now. That's how close it is. Want to try it?
I'm not eating barracuda.
All right. So we're both fed with this one fish, so that's not a bad deal. Got a fish. So what's the process here? Barbecue over an open fire kind of deal. Cheers. Isn't this a romantic dinner together, eh? You got half the fish, I got half the fish. I ordered for us.
Where's the candlelight? Where's the wine? You're not that much.
Yeah, you're a cheap date. We're leaving the coast. We're heading from Tripoli and we're gonna start heading south further and further out into the desert.
Good morning. It's gonna be a lovely day.
You gonna drive this thing around or what?
Why would I bother? It's true. This time I get to be Justin on the trip.
I get to be Scott.
I like science.
We've headed about 2 hours south of the capital city of Tripoli, away from the Mediterranean Sea.
You come to where we are now, which is Termisa.
But what makes this area so unique is its incredibly rich history of Berber remnants.
And so this is abandoned now, but you can still kind of walk around and see how this old village was put together because the remains are pretty well intact.
So much history is in here, and now it's like no one's even here. Until we showed up. Let's renovate this place. Uh-oh, look at this. Let's close out this doorway here, and then may open this up for a little more natural light. What do you think?
That would be much better.
The cool thing is you can put like all these little pictures up because you got these little nooks and stuff. And the best part, I think, is probably the balcony. Have you seen that yet? Check that out. I've been on a diet, so I can fit in here. You fit in here? You get in.
just fit.
Look at the view.
Big screen plasma hooked up somewhere in here.
It's a fixer-upper. I think you're probably gonna want this pole back tray.
We go to a town, we have the whole town to ourselves because it's completely abandoned.
From the top of the village, looking out was isolation. But that's what we're here for, Saharan life.
I love the desert, I love the way it is. This is the biggest one in the world. It's just a matter of getting there now. There's a bunch of stops we have on the way, but the majority of the trip, you can be thinking about getting it out in the sand dunes and just having some fun out there. Can I fill it up? Let me do it. Gas here is 8 cents a liter. 8 cents, not $1.08, 8 cents a liter. Just like my dad used to do. There we go. I used to hear stories from my dad and my grandpa. I remember when I used to fill my car, but it only cost me $5. Well, guess what? I'm gonna be able to say that to my kids. 50 liters for 8 dinar. Guess how much it cost me to fill up that
I don't know, 55, 60 bucks?
8 dinar.
It's like $7. Now we're 3 hours south of Tripoli and we're into Jebel Nafusa. Keeping with our Berber theme for the day, we're actually gonna be staying at a converted original underground house. This is awesome. This is like a local troglodyte house, like an original Berber style house.
Well, apparently they're gonna make some food for us, so hopefully that'll be sweet. We got a skylight here, perfect skylight. Hope you find some food in there, caveman.
We're loading up the White Rhino, and we're heading to Gdaimi's. This oasis town. Actually, it's touted as one of the most beautiful oasis towns in the Sahara.
This is the first trip we've been on where it's like we go to these places and there's nobody there.
That was his bag.
Easy. I'll pay for this. Round of fuel?
I've got the pocket lint it will cost you. There you go.
Hard one? Okay, soft one. I can play a freaking camel.
Well done. We're in the old city of Gdames, and this 1,300-year-old Berber town was once the jewel of the Sahara, one of the major trade routes coming through. Today it's abandoned, but what's left is almost a ghost town that you get to wander around this amazing labyrinth of streets.
And it's so well protected just due to the fact that so very few people have gone through it.
To have a game of hide and go seek would be the perfect place. Right here.
Not it.
Not it. Trace it.
How many steamboats?
15 Ricky Dragon Boat steamboats.
Why do I have to be it? One, two, 3.
Ricky the Dragon.
6 Ricky Dragon Boat steamboats. 7 Ricky Dragon Boat steamboats. All right, I'm coming.
Tag. Yeah.
It's official.
I don't even know where I'm going anymore.
Now we're both lost.
Yeah. Well, actually, that might be the first edge of the city I've seen. I think we go back in.
It's not easy running with a steady cam.
I don't want to seem like a pansy, but after a while, it kind of gets creepy. Like, there's no one around. The place we saw before was like an abandoned town. This is an abandoned like metropolis. Like, this is huge. I think from up here we hold a massive advantage. Getting up to the rooftop, you'll see the view. Now you can see just how big this city is. It's just rooftop to rooftop to rooftop. The cool thing is, actually, it's not cool at all. I'm walking the women's only pathway. During the daytime, the women would only use these pathways to connect from building to building. But as long as Justin doesn't get word of that, it's actually not as easy as it looks to get a good view. I mean, you can see all the rooftops, but you can't really see down in. Occasionally you catch one of those skylights, you know, that look down, that we were walking underneath.
I kind of almost wanted to get caught and at least have the two of our heads working together to get our way out of it. And I think it was only a matter of time before we found Justin. Of course, finding him asleep on the rooftop made it that much easier to track him down, although he's pretty fast and I certainly didn't choose the right footwear. I had flip-flops in there. Trying to sprint around this old city was an absolute disaster.
First, I just wanted to like run over there and be like, okay guys, let's get out of here. Let's end this game. And then I'm like, no, then I'll lose. Jeez, alright. You got me. Took you long enough.
You were sleeping up on that roof, weren't you?
Yeah, I thought you were gonna get me there.
Yeah. I almost fell off because these stupid flip-flops. I'll race you out.
I'll race you. You go first. Go. You go.
Alright. This way.
That was the longest game of
Yeah.
tag in history. It took like an hour just to get out.
We're crossing this morning from Gdames all the way down to the town of Seba, which is the capital of the desert section of Libya. I think it's safe to say we're officially in the Sahara Desert now. The greenery is all but gone.
Is a cat style, you know. Cats are always sleepy and they spend so much time taking naps during the day, during nights.
There's a whole world out here.
I know. I seen it.
Good morning, Justin.
Good morning.
Yes, I will call my cat Justin.
There is small evidence of life. Like out in the middle of the desert, you still find like little yellow flowers and stuff like that. Like there is some life out here.
Well, it's a good thing you just killed it.
There was evidence of life.
There was evidence of life.
Well, I'm gonna do my part to help the desert out, and I'm gonna water it a little bit before I get back in the bus.
All right. We just pulled the White Rhino off here and had a look.
I guess there's a big rally race going on. With the help of our entourage, we've been able to organize a four-wheel-drive vehicle that's gonna take us out to the race.
It's about 22 kilometers just out into the desert, so the White Rhino wouldn't have made it on its own.
Just a little tip for you. If you're going out to the desert in a four-wheel-drive vehicle, it's important to have gas. And right now this vehicle has no gas and we're about to go out there. So our driver is trying to find gas wherever he can. Well, he was able to scrounge up 20 liters of gas and he says that might do it. I want one of those so bad.
I'm really interested in rally, and Justin is a big gearhead, a big motorhead himself, and we were able to get really close to the action, and just like everything else, we were the only ones there watching it, and so it feels like your own private vacation.
Yahoo! That is awesome.
And there were bikes, pre-runner pickup trucks, and there were the great big transport trucks as well. And watching them blast across the Sahara was something else.
How close is this? Way too close. Yeah!
Today is a big, big day because this is where the real trip begins, this expedition into the Sahara Desert.
Can't rid of this luggage.
In order to do that, we need to make some big changes, which is a complete crew change for people who are very experienced with the desert and get 2 Toyota Land Cruisers.
But we're heading to these guys, and these guys are a lot smaller. Should be a lot easier. They're 4-wheel drive, so they'll be able to take us to the dunes wherever we want to do. So.
This too?
Goodbye, Rhino. You got us this far safely.
This place that you are going to, there is no place to hide.
Awesome. All right, so we're gonna hit the road?
To the desert, yes.
You know, we made sure that when we came out here that we got ourselves hooked up with the right people. We hooked up with a duel.
We're in good hands, right?
Yes.
All right.
He knows the desert like the back of his hands.
Someone will find us in case we lose our way.
Don't fall asleep, Justin!
So we've got to make a few crucial stops on our way out of town to pick up supplies. This is going to be the last gas station that we see probably for a very long time, which is why we've got to fill the tank and fill all the jerry cans at the top.
Ice creams and sand dunes. That's the best.
We've left the city and modern civilization behind, and now just beyond the power lines, about 100 meters from here, we're leaving the asphalt behind.
Ever since we touched down in Libya, this is what we came here for.
We're going from here, from Maknusa. We just left this fault road here, and we're heading toward Wadi Makhandoush.
Now or never, I guess.
Let's then jump to the Japanese camels.
We're leaving the road not just for the day to go for a nice little picnic in the desert, we're leaving it for days. We're doing everything we can. We've got the right people with the right experience, and they've come prepared with food, water, lots of gas.
This is the biggest desert in the world, and we're about to take it on. You know, you never know what's gonna happen. You know, we can get 5 flat tires and then we're stranded out there. We've been driving for a few hours now. We finally found the first signs of life out in the desert, and there's a pack of camels here, so I'm gonna see how close I can get to them. I'm not sure if they see too many people daily, so I think seeing me was a treat, and for me to see them was also a treat as well. What kind of music you guys listen to? You guys listen to what kind of music? Huh, you don't say. I thought we were friends. Who's gonna be the next president? That's what I'm trying to find out. Remember, guys, every vote matters. I guess they don't like it when people start talking politics. They just leave. Maybe I smell or something. What the heck's this thing? Looks like a rabble or something. I have no idea. Oh,
Camel egg.
camel eggs. No, I fell for that trick once already in Jordan. Camels don't lay eggs. They're a mammal, and they tried to get me once on that before. So I don't believe it's a camel egg.
I will show you the camel nest on one of the trees, and you
Ah,
can see the camels flying.
I don't believe it.
We may make omelet of this.
Camel
It's
omelets.
big enough to feed everyone.
Camel omelets. That'll be a first for me.
The guys are just starting to let some of the air out of the tires because of the change in terrain. We've gone from absolute flat nothing in every direction, and in the distance we're even seeing the sand dunes. We've traveled pretty much all day across the desert through a variety of different landscapes. We've now crossed into a very rocky landscape, hiked down away from the cars, and we're just starting to notice some of the first rock carvings, 12,000-year-old rock carvings, perhaps some of the earliest evidence of mankind, period. And I'm seeing it with my own eyes.
This rock carving is actually running for 12 kilometers. This is the start here, and the wadi running that way, and it's 12 kilometers of rock carvings. Every single rock. There's 2 cows headless. The upper one headless.
Okay, yeah.
Mouth here and the head, an ear. If you were to carve something, what would you carve?
A guitar of Led Zeppelin.
Nice
I like his music.
Scott, what would you carve?
If I was trying to leave little hints of my interests, I'd probably carve an airplane and a guitar. A guitar that flies.
This one here, you can see the giraffe, its head, and it comes down. And then you see another giraffe head here, I think. I don't swear they're doing it. You sure they're not, Let me see if I can see a baby giraffe over here.
It's unbelievable just to see the condition, the skill that they had, detail, perspective.
It's almost like you take a step back in time and freaking fall off this rock.
Two lions are fighting. You can see the two eyes and the two ears here. The face going like this.
Yep.
Stay away.
All these different animals that we've seen, like lions and giraffe and stuff like that, obviously they don't live in the desert.
So it must be forest is there, running water here. This was a river running.
So 12,000 years ago, if we were standing here, well, not only would there be an artist carving this probably, but there'd be like lions and giraffe, sub-Saharan Africa.
Yes.
Just with the last sliver of light, we've made it to the edge of the real sand dunes. An awesome way to end our first day in the desert.
You should always make a bet with Scott, because I always smoke him when it comes to putting up tents. Look at this. Is that you gonna sleep right now? No. Woke up pretty early this morning. This is the first sand dune we've come across, and just wanted to kind of see what I had ahead of me. There's so much beauty to the desert. The sunrises, the sunsets. When you spend all day in the sun and it's beating down on you and you're cursing it every 5 seconds, for it to give you this beautiful sunrise and sunset at the beginning or the end of your day, you know, it makes it all worthwhile.
Got up with the sun this morning. Everybody's just getting a quick bite to eat and then packing up everything back into the Land Cruisers again and heading a lot further out into the desert. Now we'll go another 200 plus kilometers even deeper into the Sahara.
Now we're heading out to the Cactus Mountain Range. And is there any people that live out there at all, or?
Few Tuareg families.
So now we head 300 kilometers or so further into the desert to the Cactus Mountains. Apparently, these guys here have a flat. They're either out of spares or they have no spare. It's not the kind of place that AAA comes out and...
Yeah. I got flat. Come fix it. Where are you? The Sahara.
Yeah. Whereabouts? I don't know. Luckily, we've come along and I don't know if they're gonna give them one of our spares for it.
Yeah, they better have some chocolate or something.
We're saving their lives here. They're out in the middle of nowhere. I think we should demand some chocolate. What do you think?
Sure, we will ask for chocolate, at least. We are not gonna give them a hand, actually. It's in the middle of nowhere. They may use my satellite phone to make a phone call to Tripoli to ask for help, and they will be here in 2 weeks.
The chocolate pirates of the Sahara. That's what we are. We've given them a spare. They've actually had to salvage bolts from one of the other tires in order to put this one on. I guess in the desert you use what you got.
We losing a spare?
I guess so.
Our truck or this one?
We will run now, because I think they will ask for some food, and they will ask for extra driver if we have. You know your destiny. You don't know where to live. His father chose this place.
How many family members does he have out here?
Actually, he said that his sons started leaving now to the modern civilization, and he lost his power to control all of them.
It's not every day that you get to have contact with Tuareg. The few that are left, especially in this area, are kind of hard to come by.
You know, you're really seeing the death of a culture at that point. Maybe when he goes, they're going to be gone, and maybe he's the last of them. You know, their numbers are dwindling, and much like many other cultures on Earth, more and more of them are choosing a life in the city. And to get a chance to talk to one of them is a real privilege.
We've gotten quite a bit of wind trying to bear down for the night. You never know when a sandstorm's going to kick in.
There's chocolate biscuits here. Anyone want? No, you. Not you. Not you. No one. For my energy to get power enough tomorrow to do more paintings for my caves.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we better eat it up.
You can put bit sands on it, and then it will taste like desert chocolate.
Sand is actually a spice of the desert. Oh, we look like Justin? Always needs more sugar. It's like the way I make tea. It's quite the process for this tea too, eh? They boil it, and then they keep pouring it back and forth for the foam, and then they put it back on, it gets reboiled, and then they add the tea. Cheers!
It's in a shot glass and everything. It's got some serious bite to it. It's like doing a shot.
As we've mentioned about a million times before, preparedness is definitely the name of the game here. Having lots of water, lots of fuel, spare tires, and in this case, a lot of extra belts for the engine.
I just had my breakfast now. It was a hard job to change the engine belt. I did everything.
You didn't even have to do anything, see?
Everybody thinks that water's your main source for survival out here, but I kind of think we rely more on our vehicles, and you really gotta watch what you're doing out here. Luckily, our driver is pretty smart. He goes at a pretty controlled pace where it's not about getting there as fast as you can, but just getting there. You have to show the desert some respect out here, and if you don't, they take advantage of you and show you who's boss.
Up until this point, we've been very used to the drive, going over a lot of bumps. You're going up and down, going painfully slow, small dunes, big dunes. But we were looking down the barrel of a very long drive to go from the Caucasus Mountains, backtracking through the desert to the north and heading to the Ubari Sand Seas, where we knew we were going to run into some pretty spectacular oasis lakes. Out of one of the oases, we just saw this, what we thought was a dog, and then Abdul starts saying, oh, it's a wolf, it's a wolf. And so we actually got to see one of these wolves, and they're kind of tough to see, aren't they?
There is no people, and it will go out to hunt.
Right.
Of course, it's not gonna hunt me or you. You are with me, so they are not gonna touch you.
You know, call a wolf?
Ow! Abdul's the Lion King of the desert.
Sometimes, if it's very early in the morning, you will see them saying, "Hello, Abdul. Hello, Abdul."
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
So he scared him away more than anything. It was a long, hard trek to get to the Ubari Sand Sea, and we knew it would pay off. We had seen some dunes, but we knew we were going to get to some quintessential image of the desert, rolling sand hills and a beautiful desert oasis with palm trees and this little lake in the middle. You get a few days into the desert, and it's beautiful, but you drive for hours and hours and hours at a time. Some of the drives can get pretty daunting. You're looking at 6-hour drives of absolute flat nothingness. We came to our first dunes. When the landscape ultimately changes, take advantage of it. Where's this been? Some secret stash? This was just open today. Take a look at that. I get up first thing in the morning. Where do I find the chocolate? Right in front of Abdul.
Look at this. Let's make some outside here to make it actually a real chocolate sandwich. I mean, it is chocolate.
A little space for the fingers. Other side. Much better. I have a new reason to live. Before we left Seba for the desert, one of the things we noticed is that you were able to rent snowboards. Justin was pretty hell-bent on being able to try a little bit of sandboarding. We're going to be hitting some pretty massive dunes, so we'd love to give sandboarding a try. But while we're in the flats, I figure we'll try something else out.
Too heavy to do this.
Scott kind of had the idea. He's like, well, we got some PVC pipe in the back here and some rope. He started rigging up.
The idea of kind of wakeboarding came to me.
Go! In my neighborhood, we skip rope. This is probably not the best place to be doing wakeboarding, I'll tell you that. This is like the opposite.
I can't do the same. Can't.
You're not getting off that easy, you know, you're up next.
Me?
After me, it's you.
Oh yeah, it's okay. Let's see what will happen to you, and then we will think about me.
I think the people we're with are like, what are these guys doing? Hit it!
It seemed like there was very little transferable skill from the wakeboarding over to this wake sandboarding.
Pretty good.
Try to control the rope and keep the tension on it. It was my first time ever being on a snowboard. It was pretty hard for me to find my edge, and because of that, there was a lot of good spills.
Desert out here.
I gave him advice, and he's getting better and better every time.
Now I know why they do this on water. I'd love to give him advice, but I've never wakeboarded before, and I've never done this in the sand, so it's all you, buddy.
Snowboarding, not just in the sand, but in the middle of the Sahara Desert. Didn't hurt too bad when you fell, right? I've wakeboarded with Andre before. Being a snowboarder and filming us, I think, was torture for him, so it was only a matter of time before he had to strap the board on.
He caught that real quick. He just got up and bam, away he went, and he was carving up a storm. He was shredding. He tried going to fakie, and he caught an edge, and he hit it pretty hard.
I'm up next. I've never wakeboarded before, and I've never sandboarded before, so I don't know how good I'm gonna do. Hopefully I can hold my own out here.
So I got to watch Scott go through his trials and tribulations, and then Andre come in and just start shredding. It gave me an opportunity to kind of like put everything together.
He's doing very, very well.
I was up for a while, and then I almost lost it a couple times when I had it, and I just caught an edge and just landed right in the back of my head, and I just felt like this smack, and then everything just went black.
Oh shit, I really hit my head.
When it happened, I didn't even know what was going on at the time, and I got snowboard on for some frickin' reason.
That was one of those good falls, too.
I just felt my back of my head go snap.
Yeah.
I'm dying here. Shoes on, but I will do it.
Dun, 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 dun. What's your blood type?
The driver is asking me now to drive my well.
You know, this is completely new to him.
How about we just go straight towards the hospital?
Okay.
Or the morgue, one of the two. Doing good, buddy, doing good. Stick to the chocolate.
That's why I cannot balance my body.
You can see the path he took. Measure it in millimeters.
Oh, that's stuck.
One minute.
That's up.
Yes? Cut.
Abdul, the good news is you now hold the Libyan world record for sandboarding.
Nutella six-pack pulls it off. The whole mission this trip was to get into the sand. And ever since we got in the sand and saw these sand dunes, I'm like, my mouth's just watering, staring at these sand dunes. They're just looking at me and they're just taunting me. I had to send an email out, and it was just an email back to my family, and it just said like, yeah, I'm going to Libya. And the first response was, why are you going there? Like, you can go anywhere you want in the world. Why would you go there? People are so, have their mindset on everybody else has been to, and it's been suggested by 100 of their friends, and people just feel that they gotta stick to the 5-star resorts, and they have to stick to places that they've seen in a magazine. It's hard for other people to understand why we go to some places we go to. It's the adventure, you know, it's seeing something that no one else has seen, and be able to come to Libya and come to the desert and see the biggest desert in the world. And like, why is that not a draw to more people? I'm sandboarding in Libya, in the biggest sand dunes in the world, overlooking this oasis. What else could you really want?
When we finally got to Umama, one of the most picturesque lakes in the Ubari Sand Seas, this is truly the oasis in the middle of the Sahara Desert.
And now to be rewarded with this.
The cartoon images of the desert.
And the sun hits it and it just twinkles and just like, oh man. Like this oasis doesn't really seem to impress you. And I think I know why. Because I think an oasis for you is this, but just full of chocolate.
I'll make a fence around it. No one will see it. No one will find it. It's just mine, actually.
To just get into the lake and everyone just sort of ease their way in, except for Justin, of course.
I did a Christ air into it. That was pretty sweet.
You get into this nice cool water and just float around. It's really wild. It's a trip, for sure. Getting out here to the desert was the ultimate goal.
No one else was around. We had the whole lake to ourselves. We had everything to ourselves. As soon as we left Tripoli, Libya was, our own country.
You know, it's just a matter of time before someone comes in here and puts all these hotels and, you know, just take over this place and tourism out the ass. But
the way the Libyan government has set things up for us, and for every other visitor and tourist for that matter, really makes you feel that coming here is a privilege, especially being out here in the desert. We got pretty much more than we bargained for, which is complete isolation, an incredibly unique travel experience.
We're making our way to Brazil next. We're gonna go hang out with Gisele.
This is going to be the first time that we set foot in South America. I know Brazil is huge. I know it's incredibly diverse. It's been described to me as a crazy and wild place, both city and country. And I guess we're about to find out.